Arulingam, speaking as the Executive Committee member of the People's Struggle Alliance. As we recall, when the election period started, people said that the NPP, there was an NPP wave, there was a Malimava wave. And we have come to the end of this first presidential and parliamentary election cycle. And this wave, this large wave, this huge wave, seemed to have swept over Parliament and have swept away the old guard, and as it recedes, it has left in its wake many new faces. And that is the decisive mandate which people have given to the NPP. And as the People's Struggle Alliance, I want to say that we respect this mandate. As a People's Struggle Alliance, we stood for these elections. We formed based on principles and values, political values. Throughout the election campaign, we took a position against the IMF. We warned about the IMF conditionalities. We warned against the debt restructuring which the Ranil Wickremesinghe government left before the presidential election, which he entered into before the presidential election. We spoke out against the EPF theft which happened under the Ranil Wickremesinghe government. We spoke about the national question and the long-standing demands of the minorities or the other nationalities in this country. And we warned against intervention by countries like India and the United States and what such intrusion does to small countries like ours. We were also the only alliance which consistently spoke about the genocide which is happening in Palestine. So we are an alliance which stood and will continue to stand on values. And despite the fact that we did not get a seat in Parliament, thousands of people have voted for us. And we want to tell those people that we are much grateful to the trust they have placed in us. And we will continue to work for the mandate which they have, mandate and the trust which they have placed in us. Despite all of this, after the presidential elections, there were things which were happening inside state power which we were concerned about. We noted that the Prevention of Terrorism Act was once again used. Former political prisoners, Subramaniam, Suendra Rajan and Niroshan were arrested. They were in prison for over a decade and they were released without any charges, and once again they were scapegoated and arrested by the NPP government. So we warned against the use of the PTA and what it does to democratic countries like ours. And we also spoke about the debt trap which Ranil Wickremesinghe has left for this government and which this government willingly went in and fell into that trap. So we warned against that. So before the elections, the defense which the NPP was taking was we don't have a parliament. So now not only do they have a parliament, but they have a 2/3 majority in parliament. They promised to abolish the executive presidency. You have a 2/3 majority in Parliament. You should go ahead and do that. Dr. Harini Amarasuriya, during the Ihapalya government, took a position that Article 9 must be repealed. She has 2/3 majority now. She should go ahead and repeal Article 9 and introduce a new constitution which will address the long-standing burning issue of the national question. We have people like Lakmal Hemachandra in Parliament who have consistently spoken out against the Prevention of Terrorism Act. She has taken the position in the past that we do not need a PT and we do not need any other anti-terror laws. She is in Parliament now and they should do it with the 2/3 majority. We have people like Chaturanga Abhay Singha who filed cases against the EPF theft. Now they have a 2/3 majority. They can reverse the EPF theft and restore the fund. We have trade union leaders in Parliament. They can take decisive steps with regards to progressive labour law reforms, including protecting trade unions. They have a 2/3 majority and they can repeal Section 365 and 365A in the penal code and thereby decriminalize the LGBTQI rights. And also we have people like Mr. Bimal Ratnayaka, who is the head, I believe, of the Palestine-Sri Lankan Friendship Society. There's a genocide happening in Palestine, and we as a nation, a country of the international, we can take a position against the genocide which is happening in Gaza now in Parliament, because we have a 2/3 majority. So all of this can be done. And with regards to the mandate given in the North, I think we should read that mandate correctly. It was an anti-establishment vote. It was an anti-corruption vote. It was a vote given by people who were disillusioned by the politics which were done by the status quo nationalist parties. So I think the NPP, despite the fact that in their manifesto did not have a concrete position against racism, did not have a concrete position on the national question, they should take this mandate with humility and address the long concerning issues from the North, including wartime atrocities and accountability, and of course, the national question. The debt restructuring, it continues to plague the country, so we will be holding the government accountable to whatever debt restructuring agreements and arrangements which they are going to get into, because now the sole mandate and the sole responsibility is on the NPP government. Lastly, I would like to say that usually we say once a government wins, the ball is in your court. But this time, the ball is not only in the NPP court, but the ball is in their court with a very, very weak opposition. So if they refuse, or if they do not kick the ball into the goalpost and resolve the many burning issues in this country, including the constitutional issue, including the national question, including the debt issue, then the sole responsibility lies in the NPP government. And we as the People's Struggle Alliance, right throughout their term, will be holding them accountable to the mandate and the trust which people have placed in them. Thank you.